have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence, welcome to the family. You don't have to hesitate, come on in. Come on, sit and sit down. I heard you peeking the window. I hope you're wondering just what's going on. So let your peeping around, it's just where you belong. So open up the doors now. Welcome to the temple, welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Yeah. Welcome to the presence, welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate, just come on in. Come on in and sit down. Good morning, Jeff. Go.
Now, did you notice
Yep.
all the love around you? And did you hear all the voices raised in song? I hope you catch yourself dancing,
Yeah.
singing along. So let your body move now.
Welcome to the temple,
Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence, welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate, just come on in. Come on in and get down to the beat now. Welcome,
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 welcome.
come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome,
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 welcome.
come on in.
Come on in.
Welcome,
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 welcome.
come on in.
Come on in.
Welcome,
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 welcome.
come on in.
Come on in.
Welcome, welcome, come on in.
To the temple.
Welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in.
Welcome to the temple.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the temple. Yeah, yeah.
Come on in
and sit down.
or stand up. Sit yourself down or stay standing up. We're gonna rewrite that. All right, we're gonna do another one. Yeah? Everybody's here. Okay, let's do it. It's a new day. We can do it. Is it E minor? Okay.
Wake up and breathe in deeper than yesterday. Take on the morning like your soul's been remade. Roll down the windows, let your cares fly away. Good things are yours to claim, you don't have to wait. All across the sky, new mercies rise, and the future's bright. This is a new day, everything's bursting with hope, coming alive this moment. You got a freedom, no looking back anymore. Open your eyes, it's coming. This is a new day. The old is gone away, the old is gone away. This is a new day. Don't let it slip away, don't let it slip away. Go on and reignite impossible dreams. Become the one you never thought you could be. All across the sky, new mercies rise, and the future's bright. Whoa, whoa, this is a new day. Everything's bursting with hope, coming alive this moment. Oh, you got a freedom, no looking back anymore. Open your eyes, it's coming. This is a new day. The old has gone away, the old has gone away. This is a new day. Don't let it slip away, don't let it slip away. Love hasn't given up on you. Love hasn't given up on you. making all things new today. And every single day, love has to give up on you. Love has to give up on you. Love, yeah, yeah. Everybody clap your hands.
It's a new day. This is a new day.
Oh, this is a new day. Everything's bursting with hope. Coming alive this moment.
This is
Oh,
a
you're
new
gonna
day.
wait up.
Yeah.
Don't look back anymore. Open your eyes. It's coming. Oh, this is a new day. It's gonna wait. The old is gonna wait. This is a new day. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it slip away. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. Oh, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. Oh.
Yay. Good morning.
Mia Wenomen Emem, Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielino Tongva, Kich, and Luiseño peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as Great Spirit intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. So good morning, Riverside. Good morning. It's great to see all of you this morning here in the sanctuary and here at home online joining us. At home this morning is Mom and Dad, Earl and Denise, Patty Clark, Vicky and Marty, Mike and Jeannie, and Corey Windsor-Stevens have all said good morning so far this morning. So it's great to have all of you joining us online and here in the room. I have a feeling a few folks are getting ready for their Super Bowl parties later on, but we're having our own Super Bowl party, our Soup Herbal party at 11:15 across the hall with lots of homemade soups and fellowship for us to, and then there's a game that we're going to play and there's prizes and it'll be fun. So we invite you after service to join us in Johnson Hall for that. And good morning to Lupe and John. Great to see you joining us this morning as well. All right. So, yeah, it's the second Sunday in February. So I think we're good. Why don't we just stand and sing, shall we? I don't have anything else other particular to share with you, so let's just stand and sing and get some going here.
Here we go.
Joy.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world didn't take it away. Okay, strength, we got it. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me.
I'm Anita Nace, one of your spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Practitioner Shawnee Beeman, sitting at the back, and I will be available for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room located in the lobby after service. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you, and we absolutely know prayer works. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wake to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. I wake to these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find myself.
Continuing on in this beautiful atmosphere of the Spirit being present and powerful right here, right now. This, in the silence, it leads me into that still point at the center and core of my being, where I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is. I know that God lives and moves and has its being as absolutely everyone and everything in the universe and beyond, seen and unseen. It is the presence and the power everywhere present all the time. It is enduring, unconditional love, perfect peace that passes our human understanding. It's harmony and order and balance, wholeness, abundance, piercing beauty, and yes, such joy, joy unspeakable. It's in this awareness that I know I am one with all of this, created out of that same God stuff. It's the very substance of my being, my source, my supply, and my sufficiency unto every need. And as I know this is the truth about me, I know it's the truth about everyone within the sound of my voice. We are all pure spirit, one with the one with each other, inseparably one. And so I know this morning we are mightily blessed and a mighty blessing. And we are open and receptive to the good at hand. So too, as we release, as the song said, those things that may no longer serve, we find our true self as we embrace who and what we truly are, incarnations of the Most High God, in whom the Father is well pleased. So this day, Spirit goes before us now, opens our hearts and minds, and we sense and feel and know that all is well, and all unfolds just quite naturally for the highest and best good. And I know we are here by divine appointment. So all of this is for us. And I simply let this be so, and together we affirm, and so it is.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up to the sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Jabella. Thank you, Ray. Beautiful, beautiful job on that. Whew, yummy, delicious, yes? All right, so we're talking about open your heart. So why don't we do our focus statement with all of the H's today? How does that sound, Jocelyn? H's sound good? All right, so we're going to do it with all the H's. So give me some H's. Holy. Happiness. Hot. Okay. Heartfelt. Hot. All right. That was two. Hearty. Heartfully. All right. Very good. So, got some interesting ones going on today. All right, here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, indeed we do. So here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living this year, we are working with the theme of Riverside Thrive, Live Your Best Life. And we are currently in our series of laying the foundation for the year. And earlier this year, Ed, the second week of this year, Ed led you through a visioning process, Visioning 2023, and I promised you, and he promised you, that we would be circling back to that throughout the year. So today is one of those days where we are intentionally circling back to that this morning. Itchy, sorry. All right. So, what I want to focus on this morning is open your heart. And opening your heart means to embrace. So part of the visioning process is we open to Spirit's highest idea, or your intuition's highest idea, whatever you want to call it. You open to the highest idea for your life. And then after that, we ask a series of questions that help us to clarify what it is that we may need to work with, either intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, or even physically, that we may need to work with to align ourselves with the high idea of our lives. Remember that we are not trying to make the high idea happen. We are aligning with the high idea. And one of those questions is, what must I embrace? What must I embody? What must I become? Those are a question of being open and receptive. So when we embrace something, what do we have to do? If I'm going to give Anita a hug, what do I have to do? I have to walk up to her, I have to fling my arms wide open, and then we step into each other, and then we bring our arms around each other into a hug and into an embrace, that we invite each other into each other's space, right? Lovingly, right? I'm not just going to go and wrestle her to the ground, right? That's a whole different kind of energy of being receptive. So we open our arms first, right? So what that means is when we embrace something, we open our arms, but we're also opening our hearts, are we not? We're opening our hearts when we give somebody a hug, when we're going to embrace something. So we open our arms, we open our hearts and our arms in order to be receptive, in order to welcome something new or someone new or a new experience into our lives. But not only do we welcome it, then we have to draw it near. We have to step in and we have to draw it near, right? And bring it into our heart space, bring it into that sense of closeness and into our sense of intimacy, right? Where we are drawing each other closer. And then we gently release. We don't just go, okay, hug, right? It's not like, right? It's we hug and then we release gently, yes? So that is that part of embracing. It is welcoming something new, welcoming someone new, welcoming a new experience. And then we have another layer to it, is we have the embodiment layer. So what must I embody? So if we think of what must I embody, we can think of it as, okay, I know something in my head. I acknowledge something in my head. I have an intellectual understanding of it. So I know, right? Then we can also move it down into our heart space where, oh, we know, right? So we're coming from our head, we're slightly dropping further down into our body, into our heart space, and we're saying, oh yeah, I know. And then, when we really embody it, we bring it even further down into our belly, into that solar plexus, and then it's even more fully embodied. Oh, whoa, yeah, I know without a doubt. Faith, trust without a doubt. It's not just trusting and having faith here. It's not just trusting and having faith here, but it's really moving down and trusting and having faith here so that we're embodying it, not only head, not only heart, but now into our belly, now into our fuller body. And then, beloveds, there's even a deeper knowing beyond that, and that is a knowing here in the hands. So I know that I know that I know that I know. And when we know in our hands, what that means is we have so embodied whatever it is that we have been called to embody. We've so embodied peace. We've so embodied love. We've so embodied abundance. We've so embodied something that we know that we know that we know it, that it has become second nature to us, and so that we may then generously give it through our hands. We may generously build with it through our hands. We may generously create with it through our hands, because we know in our hands it's there too, because these hands are whose hands? They're my hands, but they're the hands of the divine. We are the divine made manifest. These are the hands. This is where the work of the divine shows up in the world. So it's not just an intellectual knowing or a heart knowing or even a gut knowing, but now we know that we know that we know so deeply that we are able to take action upon that. That we are able to live more fully in that we are able to give from that place. We are able to share from that place. We're able to create from that place. You see how that works? So that's an embodiment. It's going even deeper than just, I know that I know that I know. It's I know that I know that I know that I know. Let that land for you. But again, we have to be open and receptive, right? If we're not open and receptive to a new idea, to a new possibility, if we're not willing to embrace something, if we're not willing to embrace an idea or a person or anything, then we can't even begin to know that we know that we know that we know. Because we haven't embraced it. We haven't opened our arms to receive it. We haven't been receptive to it. And then the next level is become. And the way I look at this is I look at this as be and then come. Become. So I know that I know that I know that I know. Right? And then what must I become? What must I first be? Be in consciousness, so fully known that I can then come to the vision. Because remember, we don't pull the vision to us, right? The vision pulls us to it. So we have the opportunity to embrace, to embody, and then what is it that I must be so that I may come to the vision, so that I may live into the vision in its full form. So if we look at the story of Jesus walking on the water with Peter, all right? Peter's standing there in the boat, and Jesus is out there on the water, and he's standing there, and he tells Peter, come on out here. And Peter's all nervous and scared, and I was like, I don't know. And then he just kind of looks at the face of Jesus, and then he steps out of the boat, and he begins walking across the water. Well, the water means consciousness, right? The water is the waters of consciousness. So he's walking across the boat. He's walking out of the boat, walking across the water, the boat representing form. So he's walking across the water. As long as he's got his face, as long as his consciousness is one with the consciousness of the mind that is in Jesus, Jesus being the representation of spirit fully manifest in form. So as long as his consciousness is matching with the consciousness that is in the person called Jesus, as long as he's doing that, he's walking across the water like, hey, I got this. Walking. And then he happens to look down, look to the side, and he breaks his gaze. And what happens when he breaks his gaze? He starts to sink. Because he's now lost focus, he's lost the attention, the consciousness, he's no longer in alignment with the consciousness, and he starts to sink. And it's at that point that the story goes that Jesus reaches down with his hand and pulls him up, returning him to consciousness, that consciousness that is fully formed, and he's able to stand on water. So, if we look at it with the vision the same way, what do we have to be in consciousness in order to walk across the waters of consciousness to arrive at the vision that already is? The beauty that already is. So, what must you be in consciousness to completely align yourself with your vision of 2023 so that you may live out or live into your vision of 2023? That's the question. For you just to ponder. How are we doing so far?
Great.
Great? So far, so good. All right. So I can talk about this all I want. But it does me no good to talk about it. It does you no good just to listen to me jabber on about something if you don't have the direct experience of it, right? All right. So what we are going to do this morning is I want to walk you through a process that I've been developing called the spiritual discernment process for you to begin to tap into, that's a lot of two twos, that you can begin to tap into that which you are being called to embrace for this year. What can start bringing you into alignment with your vision. So I want you to think back, remember back to January 8th, the visioning process that you did. And even if you didn't do it then, that's fine. Just open yourself to the high idea for 2023 for your life. You don't have to land on something specific, but just open yourself to the high idea. And breathe into that for a moment. Now I invite you to open up to the question. Just invite the question and invite whatever answer comes forth. What am I being guided to embrace today? What am I being guided to embrace today? What am I being invited to embrace today? And breathing in again. What would support me? What would support me in embracing it? What would support me in embracing this thing that I've been called to welcome, that I've been called to be open to? What would support me in embracing it? And the next question, what spiritual practice might assist me in this process of embracing? Is there a specific spiritual practice that would assist me to embrace what I've been called to embrace? And breathing in again. What is one action I could take What is one action that I can take toward embracing this? One small action. It doesn't have to be big. It can be a micro action. What is one action that I can take to embrace what I've been called to embrace? And let's break that action down even further. What is the next indicated step? What is the next indicated step? Just that micro step, that tiniest of steps. What is that next indicated step toward me being able to release what I've been called to release? What is the next indicated step? Breathe that in. And so identifying what you are called to embrace, having identified what would support you in embracing it, having identified perhaps what spiritual practice you can lean into that would help you embrace it, having identified perhaps an action you could take to embrace it, and your next indicated step, I invite you to take a nice deep breath and come back into this time and space, into this room or wherever the space is that you are currently present. Come back into the present here and now with the next breath. So when we open in this way, and we are receptive to hearing Spirit, we're receptive to hearing that still small voice, we're receptive to hearing our intuition, we are receptive to hearing that internal wisdom, that internal guidance system, that internal positioning system, then we can hear, we are able to receive that guidance more clearly. So that we are not out there saying, okay, today I think I'm going to go left, and then I'm going to drive up Magnolia, and then I'm going to arrive at Starbucks, I'm going to get me a Starbucks, and then I'm going to go to the center, right? That's making a plan. That's directing. That's deciding, okay, I'm going to do it this way, and this is my way, and I'm going to do it this way. Whereas when we dive in and we're open and we're receptive to the greater possibility, when we open our hearts and we embrace and we welcome that guidance, today I'm going to turn right. And I'm going to go a different way. And I'm going to stop at Simple Simons, because that's where I'm being called to go this morning. Oh, and listening, oh man, a pastry from Simple Simons is just speaking to me this morning. And some coffee. And I'll just take my time. And you know what? I drive around the park, Fairmont Park, sitting underneath a tree for this morning, enjoying my pastry, and then go to the center. See how that's a different way of living? You're still getting to the center. You're still arriving here, but you're not like, go, got to make it happen. You're listening and you're opening to Spirit, and maybe at Simple Simon, you see a friend, right? You have a chat. They ask you where you're going. You tell them. Ultimately, I'm going to the center at 10 o'clock. See what a different way of being when you're open and receptive. You're open and receptive to greater possibility, but you're also open and receptive to the divine guidance that is within you, so that you're not in a rush, so that you're not trying to direct and force your will, because where there is a will, there is a wall. Where there is a will, there is a wall. However, where there is a willingness, a way is made. A way is made when we're willing, when we have that willingness. So my question now for you, beloveds, is you've perhaps had a next step indicated for you. So the question now becomes a question of willingness. So if your vision of 2023 is out there and you have an idea or a sense of it, you have an idea of what you've been called to embrace. You have an idea of what might support you in embracing it. You have an idea of what spiritual practice. You have an idea of the action and then the next indicated step. Now, do you have the willingness to take the step? And again, there's no right or wrong here. Because if there is a willingness, then what I would invite you to do this week is to go ahead and take that step. It's just one small, tiny micro step, but it's one small, tiny micro step to stepping toward your vision. And if there isn't a willingness today, that is perfectly fine. Because what that is, my beloveds, the meeting with some little resistance there is yet another way that Spirit speaks and says, hey, what belief is keeping you from taking the step? What belief are you holding on to that's preventing you from taking that next step? And then that becomes a whole other investigative process, right? A whole other line of questioning, a whole other opportunity to sit within and listen to the guidance within and say, oh, here's what's been in the way. So I can move that, I can release that, I can begin working on the process to do that, which we will do next week. So wherever you are in the process, whether you are ready to take your micro step or whether you're like, oh, there's something else for me to look at here, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good because we've opened our heart to the possibility. One of the spiritual practices that may have come up for you today is affirmative prayer, which we talked about last week. Spiritual mind treatment is another way that we call it. And so here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we have a structure of prayer that is methodical and is always affirmative. And so that method that we have of our prayer, it's a methodical prayer, but it is an open, no two prayers ever sound the same or ever completely alike because it's in the moment. So it begins with recognition, right? Recognizing that Spirit is all there is, God is all there is, George is all there is, whatever you want to call the divine, the higher power, right? That is all there is. Then we move into unification, recognizing that if Spirit is all there is, that there's nothing else, then I have to be that too. And not only am I that, but everyone else is that. So we have recognition and unification. As we talked about last week, are you? Then we have realization. That is the place where we speak our truth. We speak those affirmations into being to realize, to make real that which we wish to experience, that which we're affirming, that which we're aligning with. So we have recognition, unification, realization. Are you ready? And then we have thanksgiving. The fourth stage, thanksgiving. Giving thanks for, not to, but giving thanks for the realization, giving thanks for the manifestation, giving thanks for what already is. And that is an amplifier. So, are you ready to? And then finally, we release it. We release our word into the law that only says yes, into that creative medium, into that soil that only says yes, and we release it there, and we let it go, right? So are you ready to receive? Are you RTR? The 5 steps of treatment, which Reverend Victoria shared with you last week. So perhaps this is your next indicated step, or a good next indicated step, or a good spiritual practice to anchor that which you have been called to embrace, is to place that which you've been called to embrace right there in that realization, right there in that 3rd step of treatment, and to do a treatment, to do a affirmative prayer. So that's how we can then use affirmative prayer with spiritual discernment, based in visioning, not to manifest the vision, but to align ourselves with that which we are being called to align ourselves with. You tracking? Following? See the path? Is the path made clear? Somewhat better, maybe? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move into prayer this morning, move into that conscious union, that conscious state. So I invite our practitioners and our core council members to please stand and surround the sanctuary. And I invite our band to come back into the room. All right, letting everybody settle here. All right. So let's come together in this united state of consciousness. Recognizing here now that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite eternal that is all, through all, as all. Recognizing that in the beginning was only this one created from itself, through itself, as itself, all of life, all of creation. It is love, it is joy, it is abundance, it is harmony, it is the totality of being. It is consciousness itself that moves upon itself to create. It is power, it is presence, it is joy, it is bliss, it is the peace that passes all understanding. And it being all that there is, I now unify myself with this one, recognizing that I am inseparable from it, that there is nothing else I could be but the divine emanation, impartation, manifestation of this one life, this one love, this one joy, this one peace, this one power, this one bliss, this one all in all. And as I know that this is true for me, I know that this is true for each one gathered here, and so I unify my consciousness with their consciousness, recognizing there is no separation from me, between me and each beloved, and recognizing that each one is unified with the one because there is only the one. There is only the one. And so I speak my word here and now in full realization that each thing that has been brought forth this day to embrace to make welcome, to allow each one to continue to walk toward, to continue to align with the highest idea of their life and the highest idea, the highest vision for Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. I say yes, and I open my arms, I fling my arms wide, open and receptive to receive that which I am called to embrace, and I draw it near. I draw it near me, I draw it in. And I allow myself to embody it, to know that I know that I know that I know that it is. And I allow myself to be and come to that which already is the high idea. And so we fling ourselves wide. Each one says yes and takes that small, tiny step forward on their own particular pathway that leads to the same place, that leads to conscious union with the divine, that leads to the fullest expression of their lives, that leads to each one living their best life. I say yes to the next step, and the next step, and the next step, and the next step. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for all that has been revealed here within the hearts, within the bodies, within the minds, within the consciousness of each one gathered here this day. I give thanks for the transmission, for the realization of this thing that each one has been called to embrace, knowing that each one steps forward in greater alignment and greater realization. I give thanks for all of it. And I give thanks for the willingness of each one to be present here and now, for and with and as themselves. And I release this word now into law, knowing that it is already done, knowing that it is absolutely so, knowing that I don't need to go and try and make things happen. I don't need to go and stir anything up. I simply release it. I trust. I know that I know that I know, and I trust. I have faith that it is already done. And so I simply allow it to be, and together we affirm, and so it is.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the heat that's calling, calling, calling to us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I ready my soul, I clear my head, I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dawn. We rise
to heart,
hand to hand,
hand to hand.
no turning back, onward to the promised land. You feel the power on 1,000 suns, lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one, calling out your name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Oh, come on and rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, come on and rise. Oh, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Rise up, rise up. Oh,
Rise up, rise up,
come on and
rise up.
Come on, lift your hands up, jump, jump to the sky, going up higher. Yeah,
Rise up.
Come on, let your raise up voice and shout. Love is alive, bring it in light. Come on and rise up. Come on, lift your hands up, jump, reach for the sky, going up higher. Yeah, rise up. Come on, lift your voices, shout. Lift your love, love is alive, bring it high, brighter, brighter. Come on and rise, rise, rise up. Come on and rise up. Let your hands lift, shout to the sky. Come on and rise up, rise up.
Fantastic. All right, so I invite our beloveds who are in service to go ahead and come on forward. And so collecting on behalf of the congregation this morning are Frank Conley and Cindy Lambert, and receiving on behalf of the congregation this morning is practitioner Shawnee Beeman. I invite you to take out that which you're choosing to contribute this morning and place that over your heart space. The easiest way to contribute is via text to give. Simply text 951-419-5858. Type in the amount you're choosing to contribute and hit send. It's just like texting a friend, because that's exactly what you're doing. You are texting all of your friends, all of your family here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. You're sending your love to your friends. So that's the easiest way. Another easy way is via the website. Go to riversidecsl.org, and in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the word contribute. You can contribute there. Or if you happen to be here in the room, you can do it the analog way and put it in the baskets. That works as well, too. So I invite you to hold whatever you're choosing to contribute over your heart space, whether you're at home or here in the sanctuary. I'm using my cell phone because I contribute via text to give. Hold it over your heart space, and let's say this abundance affirmation together. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
You've got to be the light if you want to see the light. You've got to be the light if you want to see the light. Because you reap what you sow, read what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive. You've got to be the love if you want to see the love. You've got to be the love if you want to see the love. Because you reap what you sow, read what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So before we head across the hall, some announcements for you. The first thing is going across the hall is Super Bowl Sunday. Sunday. So we are having our Super Bowl potluck today, immediately following Riverside Thrive here in the sanctuary. We're going to go across to Johnson Hall and enjoy all kinds of yummy, delicious soups. So that is the very first thing up on the thing for today. And then next week, Saturday, we have a class starting again, and that is the visioning class. And that will be with me online on Zoom. And that starts next week, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and that goes for 6 weeks. And you can register at csl.org/spiritual development/online-visioning/. So, or you can check our website, and you can go there and click through the link that way to join me for visioning. It'd be great to have you in that class. And then that Saturday, then on Sunday, we have the self-care sound bath because it is Self-Care Sunday. So we have the self-care sound bath, and that happens every third Sunday of the month, and that will be at 3 p.m. also in Johnson Hall. And then the next day, on Monday, the third Monday of the month, then our very own James That Yoga Dude Woods will be leading us in a chair yoga session. It's about a 45-minute seated chair yoga. It is absolutely amazing. We had about 20 to 25 people there last time. We all got a really good workout, and so I invite you, and you wouldn't think, just sitting in the chair, that, at the end of it, you'd be like, ooh, I'm warm, and I'm moving, and there's blood circulating, and I'm even breathing different. It's kind of cool. So you want to make sure you check that out with us. And then in May, yay, our second annual Spirit of Art auction is back, so yay. So be looking for more information coming out this week. Ticket sales will go on sale this week. And artist submission forms will be out this week as well. So be looking for that. We will need volunteers for that when the time comes rolling around. We're going to need some help with that later on, but I do want to presence this, so mark your calendar now. There's no excuse for May 20th, which is a Saturday, for you to say, oh, I'm not going to be here. Right? Because we're giving you 3 months' notice. Except for somebody who's already got a trip planned, but whatever. So at any rate, so we want to invite you to make sure that you're here. I do want to remind you, too, that we are still looking for volunteers to support, to make live streaming happen. Jossie is doing a phenomenal job this week. Thank you, Jossie. Jossie's part of the team. But we are looking to build out a team of about 4 to 5. There will be training available. So if you are interested, please email Tricia at office@riversidecsl.org to help make that happen. And especially for my beloveds online who sometimes are in the room and sometimes at home, you know how important it is to be able to live stream. And so we would love it if you would consider stepping into being in this role to make it happen so that all of you, everybody, can enjoy the benefits of being hybrid online and in the room. So please consider that. All right, so I invite you to stand and let's say this week's affirmation together about embracing. It's I embrace my good. That's nice and simple, nice and easy. It kind of sums up everything we talked about this morning. So let's say it together with like all the gusto and like ready for soup that you're able to say. I embrace my good. Let's hear it. I embrace my good. All right, so, and I embrace my soup spoon. All right, so something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. I receive it. And I move love forward because love lives here. Let's sing it.
something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind, love is in my body, love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it, and I move it forward because the love lives here. Love lives here.
Sing it with us, you guys. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind, love is in my body, love is in everything I do. I am it, I share it, receive it, and I move it forward because love lives here. Oh, here we go. Love lives here. And you guys have a great day today. Have some soup. I can't wait to have some soup. I can smell it. When you can't find and feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that we see just make us stronger. We breathe it in together, hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives.
Love lives here.
Love
Love lives here.
When life gets you down, you can see the future. When it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together, we'll hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here, my soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives.
Love lives here.
Where love lives.
Love lives here.
Love
Lives here.
and you and me.
Love lives here. My soul breaks free.
I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives.
Love lives here.
Love lives here. I like the way Ray plays those last two. He plays. Love lives.